Year-old girl found dead inside a singer's Tesla. Now Fox 11's Gina Silva is digging into their mysterious connection. Gina Silva.
That's her in my classroom in front of...
A teacher is captured on cell phone video telling his students that Celeste Rivas, the 15-year-old girl found dead inside singer David Anthony Burke's Tesla, had been his student and that he knew she had run away a couple of times.
So when I taught her, she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA.
TMZ was the first to report on the teacher's comments.
There's certainly photo and video evidence that she was most likely with David. They were hanging out together.
President of West Coast Trial Lawyers says the teacher's claims are damaging because Celeste was only 13 when she first went missing in April 2024. If investigators confirm she ran away with David at that time, he would have been 18.
So I won't pretend that I know anything besides what I've read about this entertainer by the name of David. No, I didn't know anything about him. Everything that I knew about him or that I know about him, I had to literally research for the past couple of days. Now, what I do know is that he had a very large following of younger people. That's another reason why I did not know him. What I do know is he is not a rapper. I had to literally research for the past couple of days. Now, what I do know is that he had a very large following of younger people. That's another reason why I did not know him. What I do know is he is not a rapper. I know there are a lot of media, news stories, reporters saying that he was a rapper. I have not heard anything coming out of his mouth that was rapping. He's not rap. He's not hip hop. He was, and I Googled what was his genre of music. They said indie, they said pop, alternative. Yeah, alternative would definitely be the description for his music. I mean, some of his songs, they have a flow to it, I must admit. People are saying, oh, that's creepy. Everything he sung about, he did. Well, in actuality, everything that people rap about, they did. You know, when we find out that they didn't do it, that's more of the rap hip hop. When we find out they didn't do it and they didn't come from that life, you know, they get called out. But otherwise, yeah, everything that he sung about, he did. Unfortunately, it may have been, you know, the murder of his, do I say girlfriend? The murder of this young girl that was in his company. Now, there are a lot of things that are going out. I've also read that her sister, this is Celeste Rivas Hernandez, her sister may have been, they used the words pimping her out, which if that is true, it's horrible. It's definitely horrible. Pimping out, getting money. They said there was literally thousands of dollars going into these accounts. And they even have pictures of David, you know, paying people off for the fact that at the time, Celeste was 12, 13, you know, in David's company, staying with David. Now, look, I did not want to add the sister's picture. I did not want to add, you know, some of the younger people that allegedly were getting payments from him to keep a secret. Now, we already know that multiple people knew that Celeste was in David's company. Now, the question is, did these same people know that she was also a missing person? They also say that Celeste ran away twice, and each time she still went with David. You know, it's a lot going out. Now, me being a person that cannot go down any more rabbit holes as of right now, I would probably wait until there is a court date. From my knowledge today, there have been no arrests. It is September 20th? And there have been no arrests. You do see a lot of fraudulent stuff saying his bodyguard has been arrested, David has been arrested. We call that clickbait, right? So from right now, there has not been any arrests. I do know that there are a lot of young people that they say are in denial, that David could not have been behind this. It had to be somebody else. There have to be, while he was on tour doing this. I mean, look, again, we have to wait. Now, based on the music, based on his song Celeste, based on coffins he brings to every set, he has a lot of things against him. I see that it was a man that built his career off of, some strange circumstances. Did he have an obsession with death? I don't know. I'm a big Jim Morrison fan. Probably a lot of people listening to this, if you're younger right now and you decide to click on this video because you see somebody that you know a lot about, a lot more trust and believe than I know about, you might not even know about Jim Morrison. Jim Morrison had a situation with death too. To me, he was a great performer, a great singer. I love a lot of his music. So I can't say. There's a lot of recording artists that build their music off of death and, circumstances that we don't really want to discuss. They do. Now, if Celeste was still alive, and let's say Celeste was 17 and he's just 2 years older than her, let's just say, and he kept his music like that, then he would go on to have been probably a bigger platform, or at least with, the platform that he has may have grown and you people would have still liked his music. So unfortunately, it's a little creepy now. Yeah, he may have built his platform more off, the music that they say was number one, the hits that everybody liked, may have had a lot to do with this young girl, Celeste's tragic demise. Now, if you have looked at any of my videos, okay, and I don't want to sound, horrible, so please don't take this part that I'm sounding horrible, but we know a lot of men have ended their girlfriends' lives, right? We know that. That's not shocking. It's not surprising. We know there are a lot of older men that have gotten with very younger girls. That's pedos. We know that. That's not surprising. We know that a lot of entertainers, and I'm only talking about men right now, we know a lot of male entertainers that have got with very young girls. I mean, that's not surprising as well. And we know there are people that have dismembered bodies. And sometimes they do it to try to really get rid of the body. That's not surprising. That's not surprising at all either. So we have 5 things that are not surprising. The death of a young girl. The fact that a older guy is, grooming, speaking, talking to a younger girl. A dismemberment of a body. The fact that this is an entertainer. All these are not shocking. And even him talking about the crimes in his music, none of this is shocking. But when you put it all together, it definitely gives a horrible story because he has all of them. So it is awful. It is terrible. Definitely, I hope they get down to it. I hope they figure out exactly what's going on. I hope that if there's more people that are involved in this, they all are brought to justice for this young girl's family. I don't know if her sister was involved in anything, if other people were involved in anything that has something to do with, knowing where Celeste was at the time, but they should probably come forward and say what they know. For the authorities come to them and figure out what they know. It's probably easier if they do it like that. I know the teacher, I have to say something about the teacher because I was a teacher a few years ago, and I have to say something about the teacher who knew this child because she's a child, and that she was in the school, and he says, oh, she met him on social media. He's a rapper. That's why I had to say he's not a rapper. If anyone was and still is a fan of David, you guys know he's not a rapper. So he brought it to his pupils' attention to say, stay away from people that you meet on social media. Well, unfortunately, your own friends, people in the neighborhood, people that you know from school, they have also been involved in these horrible murders, okay? So the only thing I can say is you have to use good judgment. If you are under 18 and you're still living at home and you're under your parents' roof and your parents are of sound mind, sometimes you should probably listen to them, You should probably, go out, have a good time, of course, but always bring your ass back home. Always let your parents, your guardian, whoever knows where you are. The world has changed tremendously since I was younger. It's a scary place out there. You have to be careful. But, it's not the fact that she met this recording artist and she got under his grips. That's not it at all. There was obviously something wrong with a lot of people that was involved in the situation. That's all I can say. So from there, I digress. But other than that, I do hope the truth comes to the circumstance, or at least this family can get justice for everyone, once again, who was involved.